Last video I told you about the island day. A day like paradise. A day where we forgot all our problems and it was just us. But the sun set, the ferry returned, and we came back to reality. This is the story of what happened after that day. A story of secrecy, struggle, and a deepening bond. The first morning after returning from the island, the alarm went off at 6 a.m. hospital. Same walls again, same fluorescent lights, same tired faces, but something had changed. We had changed. At work, we still kept our distance from each other. Even saying hello felt risky. Gossip was still floating in the air. Are they a thing? They're so close, don't you see? I heard they go home together. Every glance was a question, every silence an accusation, every smile was evidence. We said we had to hide it, and we were hiding. But we didn't know how heavy this would be. At work, we looked for opportunities to talk to each other. If we ran into each other in the corridor during breaks, just eye contact, saying everything without saying anything. If we were alone in the break room, then we could talk, but the door could open any moment. Someone could walk in any time. How are you? She'd ask. I'm fine, I'd say. You? Tired, she'd say. But knowing you're here with me is enough. Sometimes our hands would touch, just for a few seconds. But those few seconds were enough to save the day. Once we sat at opposite tables in the cafeteria. We ate without looking at each other. But under the table, our feet were touching. Such a simple touch. But it meant so much. Secrecy at work wasn't enough. There were also economic hardships. Inflation continued. Our salaries stayed the same, but everything got more expensive. Rent, bills, transportation, food, everything more expensive. Our side hustles hadn't worked either, remember? YouTube, blog, e-commerce, drop shipping, none of them worked. We needed to save money for marriage, for a wedding, for an independent home. But how would we save? Our salaries barely covered living expenses. One day we did the math. To save enough money for marriage, with our current situation, it would take 5 to 6 years. 5 to 6 years. Staying hidden, waiting, struggling. We stayed very quiet that day, because we both knew this wasn't sustainable. I lived alone, in a small apartment, managing on my own. Everything was my responsibility. Cleaning, cooking, bills, shopping. It was exhausting, but at least I was free. She lived with her family, her mother, father, sibling. There was family pressure, questions about where she was, who she was with, when she'd be back. Even when she came to see me, it was difficult. She had to say, I'm meeting a friend. Once she told me, I wish I lived alone like you. Free? But I said, you're with your family. You're not alone. Loneliness is sometimes freedom, she said. I'm with my family, but I'm alone. Because I can't share my truth. That moment, I understood. We were both imprisoned in different cages. Me in the cage of loneliness. Her in the cage of family pressure. But something strange happened. These hardships didn't push us apart. The opposite. They brought us even closer. Every day we learned a little more about each other. How you think, what you feel, what you want to say when you're silent. Words were no longer necessary. A look was enough. When she was tired, I knew. When she was stressed, I felt it. When she was happy, I could tell from her eyes. She started to know me the same way. You're really tired today, she'd say. Before your shift or after? Before, I'd say in surprise. How did you know? From your face, she'd say. After a shift, you're tired but relaxed. Before a shift, you're tired and tense. I noticed the difference. Being known at this level, being seen, being understood. For the first time in my life, I felt such a deep connection. The times we sat in the park. Those moments were everything to us. We'd get coffee, cheap biscuits from the market, sit in our camp chairs, we'd talk about everything, our dreams, our fears, our childhoods, our future. When we get married, where do you want to live? She asked one day. Somewhere like the island, I said. Greenhouses, gardens with flowers, sea view. Me too, she said, and we'll have 2 children, a girl and a boy. Which one first? I asked. Girl, she said. She'll need a gentle father like you first. Then the boy comes, learns from her. I smiled. How can you speak so confidently? Because, she said, This day will come. I know it. I feel it. Those days. When we had no money, when we had no plan, those were actually the richest days. But secrecy got heavier every day. At work, we couldn't eat together, couldn't leave together, couldn't laugh together. Outside was the same. Even if we ran into each other at the mall, we kept our distance, in case someone saw. Once we went to the cinema. We sat in different seats. Throughout the movie, we couldn't touch each other. After the movie ended, we met outside. She was crying. "Why are you crying?" I asked. "Because," she said, "in the movie the couple was hugging during romantic scenes. I'm sitting next to you, but I can't even hold your hand." My heart broke in that moment, because she was right. We were in love, but couldn't act like we were in love. "Look at me," I said. One day we'll walk hand in hand everywhere. Everyone will see. Everyone will know. We won't care." "When?" she asked. "I don't know," I said. "But that day will come. I promise." At night, lying in bed, I'd think, is this sustainable? How much longer can we endure? The secrecy was exhausting. The economic struggles were suffocating. The family pressures were crushing. But then I'd remember her face, laughing together on the island. The moment I braided her hair, when she said, "Your daughter will have a lucky father." And I understood. These struggles are temporary, but she's permanent. No matter how hard it gets, it would be harder without her. I'd send a message, "Are you asleep?" "No," would come the reply. "Can't you sleep either?" "I was thinking about you," I'd say. "Me too," she'd say. And in that moment, those messages, they were enough. Enough to endure one more day. The island day taught us something, that we could be happy together. But real life was teaching us something else. Happiness demanded a price. Secrecy, waiting, sacrifice, patience. But every hardship brought us a little closer. Every obstacle strengthened our bond a little more, because we weren't just lovers anymore. We were battle companions, life partners. In the next video, I'll tell you about the real big obstacle. Families. Especially her family. Her father didn't even know me, but he didn't like me. Her grandmother would make things even worse. Don't forget to subscribe, because this story is reaching its hardest part, and there's so much you need to know.